Hello everyone, I'm Denise Love, and here's a little preview of what we're going to be doing today. So let's get started. Alright, I'm feeling like doing a blind pull today. So I'm in Color Cube 2 by Sarah Renee Clark. And I thought, let's just pull a palette and work with it no matter what we get. So I'm not even looking. Oh! Okay, so this is what we're going to work with. Had to think about it for a moment there. Almost thought, was that a good idea today? I think I'm going to go ahead and, alright, so while I'm cutting my paper, this is a 9x12 Hahnemühle paper, and I'm going to, let's do like a little set of 2. So I just cut that in half. And then I just take my art tape and tape these down, and I'm feeling like a little too abstract game today. And then I just eyeball it. You know, I don't get real picky when I'm taping stuff down. It just is what it is. You feel free to be as picky as you need to be when you're taping stuff down. And we could go ahead and pull out, I think I'm going to just work in the Kuretakes today because I like them. And there, let me move the paper out of the way. You know how many times I set stuff right on top of it because I'm trying to stay in camera? And then it's kind of like, oops. Okay, so my goal is to work within a color palette. Whether we're exact is not really the purpose. So I've got number 72 maroon, that looks good, and there's a brighter red, so got rose madder, maybe 35 carmine. There you go, let's do that one. So I'm just trying to get close. I'm not trying to get exact, but close would be nice. And this is a purpley brown, so I'm almost feeling like, let's use the raw umber. And then this is a really deep Payne's Gray type blue. So do we have a really deep Payne's Gray type blue? There's ultramarine. There's turquoise green deep. Prussian blue. Prussian blue is pretty dark. Let's just do it. And then this is like a black. And we don't have to use black watercolor. We can certainly pull, oh, what is this blue right here? I'm feeling like this might be it. Turquoise blue. I know, I think that one's very bright. Here we go. Okay, so I'm feeling like that's kind of our color palette, and then as we're going, I reserve the right to make on top of that in maybe white, you know, kind of bring some of the brightness back. But here's what we picked. So we're going to try it. Card 364. Deep and dark and stormy. Let's just activate these colors a little bit. And I want to do just some large abstracts that we sometimes do. So maybe I'll start with the blue. I feel like the blue is bright, but that's okay. Ooh, that is brighter. So we could actually mix a little blue and black. Oh yeah, see, there we go. There we go. That's the color. And we'll just see what we can get. We're not trying for anything specific. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just playing. What can we create? It's a very stormy sky. It might be a lovely dark landscape that you decide to create with something like this. That would be cool. But I'm just playing, so let's just see where it goes. Nothing specific on our mind. And I like working on these cotton papers because this stays wet longer and lets me get more going on than maybe I would normally get going on in the cellulose paper. The cellulose papers they just dry so fast, and they don't give you the softer edges, and I just love these cotton papers, which is why in these videos you've just seen me go further and further into using these and not really grabbing the other papers, because I just, you know, the more you do, you figure out what you like and don't like, and I just don't love them. All right, this is different. We'll call it different. Huh. Did I just use that color and not that color, or these two colors look almost identical? Oh, I think they do just look very close. Because that one's like a shade darker, but that's okay. Kind of interesting. Alright, this is different. And you know what we could do? We could come back in here and add some marks with different mark making tools. That might be kind of a goal of today. Do something different that we don't normally do. Ooh, look at that. We could take our rubber catalyst wedge and just move stuff around to see, did that change anything for us? Did we like it? Did it do something different? We could play with some other tools, and that's always fun. And now I'm seeing that the red and blue are kind of blending a little bit and giving us like a little bit of purple. I like that. Ooh, now I'm getting some little marks in the watercolor that's still wet. That's super fun. I do like the blue-red merging here into the purple. That's pretty. So that's kind of like some fun little surprises that you end up seeing. I am losing a little bit of contrast. And what I think I might do, because I like it, is pull out the acrylic inks that I got back here. This is Payne's Gray, and before it's all dry, is this the Payne's Gray that doesn't work? That's the Payne's Gray that's, I might have to get a different Payne's Gray. What about sepia? Can be the dark. Sepia is almost black. It's good. Okay, so kind of feeling like a little bit of mark making here. Give us the extra darkness because the ink is so dark. Compared to the watercolor, I like that contrast that we get. Okay, that's pretty interesting there. Let's see. Wow. And I like it when the watercolor's still wet so that ink spreads out some. Okay, I'm liking that. And now we could mark make, or I could let it dry and mark make on top. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe we'll let this dry and then we'll come back and mark make on top. I think out of the two right now, this one is kind of grabbing me. This is why I do more than one at a time, because one will always be my favorite and one will be my not favorite, or one will be a dud. And if I just did the dud for the day, man, that's super disappointing. But if I kind of do these where there's a drop here, that drop's bugging me. If I do these where one is like amazing and the other one's like, I still had a good paint day because one was amazing. Yeah. All right, let's let this dry and then we will mark make on top. And look how good we did with our colors so far. Okay, I almost put that one back. I almost was like, All right, I'll be right back. All right, we've got this going now. And I'm trying to keep in mind my color palette. I don't want to veer too far off of that, but you do have leeway. You don't have to stick to the color palettes exactly like they are. You can play. I want to bring some, maybe some white back in, or some kind of little dots. I like the dots. I enjoy the dots. We could do that with Posca pen, and I've got some big Posca pens over here. So I could do them with the Poscas, Posca. You know, I like to say it every kind of way I can. And I kind of want a bigger one. Oh yes, that's it. I want the big one. Okay, I'm feeling good with the big Posca. Let's get out a piece of paper. All right, we got that started. And I always recommend start on the one that's not your absolute favorite and test out your idea. So maybe we'll just test it out over here. And then you could be like, do I like it? Do I not like it? Okay, I do actually really like that we're just gonna commit. Don't you like how I just run over here and go, boom, committed. I mean, I just kind of felt like it's almost like bringing the paper color back up, so it's not really introducing another color into your piece, but it's like white and black, and the metallics in my mind are neutrals that you could really put in any piece to complement the color palette that you've picked. You don't have to, but in my mind, those are the allowed variances. Okay, I love that actually. And I love pastels. You know, I love the pastels. So, do I want to do some chalky pastels? Maybe I do. Maybe I want to do the oil pastels. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. So these are my Sennelier half sticks. Just kind of pulled them out so I can look at them. Kind of feeling like this deep blue in here. We could possibly do something with a deep blue. This was a pretty deep blue. Let's start over here. And we can make it do our little scribble that we like. You know, maybe you don't like the scribble, but I love the scribble. So whatever you like, do more of that. Whatever it is. Doesn't have to be the things that I like. Doesn't have to be the things anybody else like. And the only way you're going to figure out what you like is by making a bunch of art and be like, oh, okay, I actually really loved that. So let me add that to my normal art practice. That's how we get into our own styles. Okay, whoa, I like that. Okay, I'm definitely feeling a little bit of like a navy, dark blue, kind of yummy meandering. And you know, this will just be, you know, a signature part of my style, the things that I like. And I guarantee lots of the different pieces of art, you can kind of identify the pieces that I'm like, ooh, this is my favorite, because I'll use it more than I'll use a lot of other things. Okay, I'm liking that. And then somebody asked me, you know, should you fix, what do you do if you use oil pastel and soft pastel? And so generally what I would do is kind of think logically about what I could pile on top of what. So you can't put soft pastel, chalk pastel on top of oil pastel really. So you got to think about those layers, and oil pastels would probably be the last layer that I would do. So I would maybe fix that down with the soft pastel fixative and then continue working on top of that. And then if I used oil pastel fixative at the end, I would, you know, fix it with a little bit of oil pastel fixative. Sometimes I don't fix things at all and they go to framing and they're not fixed under there. It's just a personal preference. Check out my preserving art video that I did if you want to dive into some other things that I do sometimes with the framing. Okay, let's put the soft pastels over here. Feel like it needs something else. So what is it calling for? I need a vote. Maybe, let's see, maybe some gold. Maybe the gold is what I'm feeling like it needs today. So do we need gold ink or do we need gold paste? Do we want a stencil or do we want to put this on with a knife, like a palette knife? I'm kind of thinking, okay, let's put this on with a wedge. I'm kind of thinking, look at that. Okay, that fit right in with something different, but still adds some lovely marks and a little bit of different than what we've done before. I like it. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm feeling that. Ha ha ha! And on this one, we could do it a little different, and we can do put some gold out here and smudge it. Just another little play technique, just playing around here. You know what can we do? Let's just try some different stuff and spread those out. There's no one way right or wrong. Just kind of spread a little bit of something down here that maybe I don't love. Just a little bit, or that could have been on there, but I think I did that with the wedge. Oh yeah, see, I did. And these little kneaded erasers are perfect for pulling a tiny little smudge up that maybe you didn't intend if it's coming off of some residue of the paint of what you were using. But we can also come back and add some dots out there. Okay, I like those. Feeling good with that tiny bit of gold. I actually like that these are smeared. So I could come back and see, do any of those? Not really, but I do like the smears on that. Okay, let's leave it where it's at. I like it there. We could come back with some writing. I do like the black writing. Kind of like the gold writing. We could do gold writing. We could do gold dots. We could come back with a little bit of whatever your favorite stencil is. Lots of choices. So many good choices. I could do mark making with a graphite pencil. That's always fun. So I do have graphite here. It kind of fits still. I'm still trying to stay within our color palette. So maybe some interesting lines within our piece. Maybe following, that looks like a leaf. Maybe just following the natural starts and stops of the watercolor. That's very interesting in the way that it did some yummy blending. Just a way to add some subtle, I want subtle, I don't want it to be so busy that I'm like, okay, but I do like that. I like what I just did. This is still that Art Graph 6B, so it is water soluble, but I don't plan on adding water. I do feel like I need it a little sharper, so maybe I'll just sharpen that a tad. Alright, I like that. And I'm kind of feeling like it could use a little bit of brightness, so I might come back with the finer Posca and maybe just do some really fine little dots. And then I feel like I'm there, wherever there is for today. I think I wore this Posca pen out. I think I might need to replace it, but I do like the very subtleness of those marks, so we're going to keep going with it today. Ooh, I like it, I like it. And I'll even overlap stuff sometimes. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. I could do some little bit of writing. There's all kinds of things that I could do. I actually could do with, ooh, that's what I need right there. A little bit of scribble with the graphite. Doesn't have to be a lot, but it's kind of interesting when things extend past the visual boundaries that you've kind of created. I kind of like that. Just something light and subtle. Ooh, ha ha ha! Now I'm feeling like we're there. Sometimes you just gotta keep on adding the layers until you're like, okay, I've got it. Or if you're stuck, just stop and revisit it on a different day. I do that a lot. Oh yeah. Oh, see, this one's still my favorite. So this is my win for today. And then I do actually still really love this one. Very interesting. So it'd be kind of interesting which is your favorite. So I'm gonna put them in the way I painted them so we can remember. Do you like the big square one or the one that kind of is a little bit more elongated? One or two, which one did you kind of like today? Can't wait to see what you're creating. And look, we've stuck really well to our color palette, number 364. So that was super fun. Can't wait to see what you're creating. Feel free to tag me on Instagram at Two Little Owls Art. You can join the Facebook group I have for Art Peeps and share what you're working on with other people. And I'll see you next time.